Nigerian food is oil, oil, oil. We eat too much carbs. It takes forever to cook. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, my name is Flo. This is where we have Nigerian food fun and every other thing concerning Nigeria. So some time ago on my Instagram page, I decided to open the honest nest, asking you guys to release your unpopular opinions about Nigerian food. And did we have so much fun on that post? And did you guys turn out en masse? In fact, you guys turned up so much that at some point, some people started talking about Nigerian cooking myths. And I was like, whoa, 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 hold it there, hold it there. Those ones are the subject for another post. So later, I'll upload a video reacting to your Nigerian cooking myths. In this video, I'll be reacting to your unpopular opinions about Nigerian food. At some point during the video, I will release my own unpopular opinions, so stay tuned. And if you didn't participate in that one, feel free to go down in the comments and release your own unpopular opinions about Nigerian food. No shaking, I am here. Nobody will touch you. Feel free to let it off your chest because I know that you guys are always sneaking it into the comments, right? But today, you have like the free reign, yeah. Let's have that table shaking down in the comments. Okay, let's go. We'll start with ntanta. Do you know what ntanta is? Meat and fish. You know that people always accusing us of eating too much meat in Nigeria. So let's start with opinions surrounding meat and fish. Bo.gratitude and coffee says, cow food is trash. Yep. Catch me if you can. Yes, I agree. Cow food, I always feel like there's nothing in there. We just eat it for the taste and the bones. Yeah. You know, when you prepare something like nkwobi and you eat the skin on the cow food and then you start chewing the bone and sucking on the bone, it's yummy. Yeah, that's why we enjoy it. But you know, I don't think there's anything there. It's just like chicken feet. Jollof connoisseur. Is that how to pronounce it? Connoisseur. Oh my god, he's the jollof master. Says that goat skin is the worst. Why? Without the skin, it's not goat meat. It's as good as beef. No, it must come with the skin. Do you know that? Okay, for those who don't know, I live in Spain. Do you know that here, many years ago, we used to go into the villages to look for goat meat. Here in the market, you can only see lamb and they skinned it. Oh my God, that's atrocious when you skin it. So we used to go into the villages in search of goat meat that they can kill for us, but they don't understand the concept of burning the fur so that you can get the skin cut with the meat. No, they don't understand it. They will still skin it inside the village. But right now, thank God, these days, we can order goat meat from the neighboring city where some Nigerians are into burning it like we used to do in Nigeria and then cutting it with the skin. Madre mia. So jollof connoisseur, I don't agree with it. No, it's not the worst. Odie's kitchen. Crab is overrated. I am inclined to agree with her because I don't like seafood. You guys know on this channel, the most you will see here is fish, but the core seafood, no, I don't like it here. I don't like the smell. It makes me want to retch. No, I don't like it. My colleagues love on Sundays is our seafood day. I think I showed it in my follow me to work video. And on Sundays, I just cover my nose like this and go into the galley and take my food and go to my desk and eat it because I can't stand the smell, because they would like clear one table and fill it with all kinds of core seafood, crabs, lobster. No, count me out. So it's overrated. Yeah. Maureen Achu 16, pork meat is unclean. Maureen, I guess this one is debatable because maybe you're coming from a religious point of view. In Nigeria, we have Muslims and Christians. Muslims don't eat pork. I eat pork. I don't mind it. In fact, when it's cut not like pork chops or fried to stew, but I actually like it in soup. If you use it to cook soup, you may not even notice, but it's not as juicy and tasty as beef. Yeah, I just don't like the skin. I don't like that greasy part of pork, but there's a part of pork that is not that greasy and it's actually like beef. Yeah. Tasala said, Pomo and tribe are trash. I said what I said. She said it with her chest. There's always this debate that there's nothing in Pomo and Shaki. Shaki is cow tribe, Pomo is cow skin. That there's nothing there. But see, we eat these things because of the variety, you know. When you're stirring the soup and you see all this variety, especially if it's the honeycomb, you know, the designer part of Shaki. I love seeing it in my soup, and I actually like this texture in my mouth when I'm chewing it. Yeah, so maybe from a nutrient point of view, you may say it's trash, but I love the variety in the food. Yeah, and you know those rolls of pomo, you know, cow skin that with the roll. Oh, leave that, leave matter, eh? Marion8989 says that goat meat smells so terrible. I have to leave the kitchen so I will not. Also, the stomach of cow, yeah, like I said, the shaki and roundabout, and oh no, leave matter, Marion, eh? One thing you need to know about goat meat is you have the male and female goat. The male goat smells so bad. You know, the male scent, or should I call it body odor? Yeah, that scent that attracts the female is actually a sexy scent, but yeah, it's so strong. So when buying goat meat, buy the female goat. What do you even call female goat? Nanny, yeah. Buy the female goat. But one thing you need to know is that female goat is tougher than male goat. Male goat, you know, male with the muscles should be tougher, right? But no, male goat cooks in less time than female goat. So that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, if you want the one that does not smell so much, buy female goat. But she said, but when the soup is cooking, it smells delicious. You see? Yeah, the variety adds to this delicious smell and taste. Christy Irabo says, cooking with stockfish during summer. The smell drives my neighbors crazy. Flies also hold their party in my kitchen. Outside Nigeria, during the winter, the weather is too cold for the flies to come out. But in Nigeria, it's summer all year round. So every time you're cooking with stockfish, there are flies in your kitchen. In Nigeria, we actually have screens for flies that we put on our windows, in our doors, so that flies will not come into the kitchen. But when you're cooking, you will see the flies perching on the fly net. Then Chibike backed that up by saying, why do Nigerian food smell so much? Chibike, if you ask me, now who I go ask? Our most smelly foods or ingredients, let me put it that way, are usually the ones that we ferment before we use, like ogiri. If it's not fermented, you cannot feel it in those soups, right? Or in abacha. Stockfish, I guess it smells so bad because it's dry. Yeah, because cod, fresh cod does not smell like that. But when it's dry, because all the water has, you know, left the chat, so the only thing remaining is the concentrated smell of the fish. So I guess that's why. And unfortunately or fortunately, that's how we love it. The Giving Voice says, eating head of animals is trash. Isiewu, cow head, fish head eaters, biko no vessel. Abiola George says the same thing. I can't bring myself to eat the head of anything, no matter how dressed up it is. I once saw an elderly Yoruba woman choose the head of fish over the tail. In my mind, I'm like, how are you letting superstition rob you of eating the meatier portion? It may not be superstition, it may be religion. In Nigeria, you will hear the pastors preaching, we are the head, not the tail. That day I was teasing them about biting into the eye of Isiewu and have that hot lava pour into your mouth. Oh my God. And everyone was like, stop talking, stop. Yeah, I understand the parts of the head, the eye, the nose, cow head. I can stand goat head, but you see cow head, when I see that big nose and no, it puts me off. But the thing with cow head is that because it's so big, by the time you finish cutting it into sizable portions, you may not even know that you're eating the head of cow. But goat meat, the eye will still be like that. In fact, when you go to a restaurant and you're served isiewu, you expect to see everything whole, the ear whole, not cut, yeah? So that you know that all the particulars are complete. I beg, leave matter, isiewu is the best. Hey, it's Uhuru. Says, fish in everything. Crayfish, stockfish, dry fish, smoked fish in one dish. Enough said. Yeah, 100% agree. We love our fish. Naija Brit says, adding too much pepper doesn't make the food enjoyable. 100% agree with this. I don't like hot and spicy food. The only place I expect something to be hot and spicy and I actually enjoy it is in pepper soup and in Nigerian suya. Any other thing, I don't want my mouth on fire when I'm eating, for instance, rice and stew. No, I don't want that. The next one, Helen says, Ayamshe is overrated. Yes, me too. When I heard about it, I was excited. I said, let me try it. Maybe the bleached palm oil will reduce the spiciness in the pepper because this stew is prepared with only pepper. And I tried it and I don't see anything exciting about having my mouth on fire when I'm eating some. No, I did not even taste the food. I was like sweating all the time. Gas coming out from my ear. No, it's overrated. And to think that this stew is served with rice at weddings, like special occasion, how can somebody be like sweating like a Christmas goat at a party? No, according to my mom, she will tell you pepper does not have any nutritional value. Yes, I know that some of you nutrient hunters will come and tell me it contains vitamins. If I need vitamins, I'll go and lick one orange, not set my mouth on fire. And with the social media, with the quantity of pepper a lot of people add in their meals, some people have come to associate Nigerian meals with hot and spicy. No, it's not true. We add pepper to our taste. In fact, some people, when I'm cooking, some people will like, is it only one pepper she's adding to that pot of stew? Yes, I'm cooking to our own taste. In love with Nigerian food, Eva Mama says, akamu is horrible and tastes like if someone already digested it. The same with Tolex Z, akamu, custard, even oats, all taste terrible. I said what I said. Have you added conch peak milk, evaporated milk? Have you added sugar? You need to add sugar. Some people think you shouldn't add sugar. Add sugar, add peak evaporated milk. Peak evaporated milk specifically. Yeah, I will keep saying it, not because that a brand I work with, but I'm telling you, it has a unique taste that goes very well with akamu. This is not me like promoting my favorite brand. No, not that. But I know it's not just about taste. It's all about the texture as well, how it feels in the mouth. Some people don't like moi moi just for the same reason, because they don't like the feel in their mouth, not because it's not tasty. The same with agidi. Some people will never, they tell you, what is that? But yeah, agidi is just like jello, and a lot of people don't like the feel of jello in their mouth. So Fifid said, Begiri is yak. Felt worse about it when I learned what it is made of. Yeah, Begiri is a soup made with beans. Is a Yoruba meal. The first time I saw it, I was curious. I said, wow, beans. And you know, like it felt strange to me that you use beans to prepare soup. And because of the look as well, it's so smooth. You've seen me cook egusi soup here, and if it's not lumpy, if it's not caked, I can't eat egusi. Some people cook the egusi soup in such a way that it's not lumpy, it's not caked. I cannot eat that kind of egusi soup, not to talk of Begiri soup. Then Aurora T95 says, Ghanaian jollof is nicer than Nigerian jollof. You want to start a war? You want basbos now? Eh? Aurora, let's leave that for another day. Adeze Space said, jollof rice is overrated. Onugbu and afang soup. Adeze, let me start from my favorite soup first. Onugbu soup. This is my second favorite soup after Ora soup. What did Onugbu soup do to you? Just tell me. Just tell me. Let's sort it out right now. Onugbu soup is the best. And you don't like afang soup? The first time I tried afang soup, I didn't like it either because too oily. Yeah, and you know, they add the oil so late and the oil was sticky on my mouth, so I didn't like it. But the way I prepare it is that I add oil early so that it will cook for at least 7 minutes before I add the vegetables. That way, it's not so sticky and I enjoy it that way. That's how I prepare afang soup. Jollof rice, I don't have any words. Yeah, at the end of the day, jollof rice is just tomato sauce and rice. I don't know why. Maybe because of the convenience of preparing it for parties, you don't have to handle rice and stew. Maybe. In fact, what I enjoy about jollof rice are the sides. If you serve me just jollof rice and beef or chicken, I don't enjoy it. In fact, it's not appetizing to me because it's so plain. I don't even care how good it tastes, if it's smoky patty jollof rice, unless you add Nigerian salad by the side, or you add my sauteed green vegetables by the side, or you add moi moi, or you add, yeah, so many of these accompaniments of jollof rice. Plantains, fried plantains. So yeah, jollof rice on its own, I agree, it's overrated. Jollof connoisseur again. I don't like coconut rice. I see how people will not like it because of the coconut taste, probably. Is it why you don't like it? Yeah, probably why. Coconut flavor is a very strong flavor. Yeah. But the good thing about coconut rice is that it's prepared with coconut milk. Coconut milk does not taste as strong as coconut oil. You see, anything that is prepared with coconut oil or coconut flour, I'm very careful about eating it because it's too sweet for me. The taste is so far removed from normal Nigerian taste. Let me put it that way. So I see how someone would not like coconut rice because of the strong coconut flavor. Righteous Ree says egusi soup is trash. Ooh, I'm inclined to agree. I may not call it trash, but I'm inclined to agree. You guys know on this channel that I am a hater of egusi soup. Egusi is not even in my top 10 favorite Nigerian soups. I actually have a recipe titled egusi soup for haters of egusi soup. And there I listed all my favorite soups, and egusi is not there. As far as I'm concerned, egusi is towards stew rather than soup for swallow. For me to enjoy it, I have to prepare it with bitter leaves to tone down the sweetness. And on top of that, I have to mix it with another soup, such as bitter leaf soup or ora soup. Ebereke. That okra is overrated. Hey! Chineke mo. I don't know why some people don't like okra. Hey! Because if you like okra, if you love okra, I love okra. Let me know in the comments, please. Hey! I love okra so much. I believe it's in how it's prepared. Anytime anybody tells me that they don't like okra, I usually tell them, wait till I prepare it for you. There are two main ways of preparing okra. One, you prepare it like soup, like oyibo soup, with fresh okra that is peeled that day. It has a natural aroma that requires very few ingredients and it tastes heavenly. If you don't like that one, there's okra jollof where you add ingredients, and some people add corn as well. There are different ways to prepare okra, and I always challenge someone, come, let me prepare okra for you, and you will start loving it. Yeah, okra is so delicious. It's so delicious. Okra is such a meal that I always say that I don't like chewing, but when it comes to meals that you chew, okra should be my top one. I'm ready to eat okra every single day, yeah, for a long time. Why don't you like okra? Let me know in the comments. I want to know why you don't like it so that I can get you to start liking it. Franny Pickle says okra is angry face. Yes, okra is in the category of Nigerian slimy foods. Gumbo, okra, ogbono. A lot of people don't like it because of the slimy nature. I agree, but I love okra. Jelavi says, I do not like abacha and oba. The texture feels like you are eating grass, even though I don't know how grass tastes. Yeah, I see the strands of abacha and oba can feel that way, but oba depends. I have a video where I showed how to soften oba. The oba you buy from the market sometimes is so like tough, so hard. But you need to soften it for it to integrate well into the meal, any meal you're preparing, be it abacha or yam and vegetable. Yeah, so that it's easily palatable. To solve the one of abacha, you can soak it for longer. I don't know, but yeah, at the end of the day, it has strands. If you like spaghetti, you should like abacha, I guess. Also, iru and ogiri, the smell is awful. Smells like someone did a massive that lingers in your house for so long. Ogiri and iru is one smell even the strongest air freshener cannot remove. Yes, no air freshener fashioned against ogiri and stockfish and iru shall prosper. I agree 100%. But when you add these to the meals, and then the irony of life, Yi Chop says, I love the smell of ogiri okpei. You see, one man's meat is another man's poison. It's just like I like the smell of nzu. You know, the chalk, the edible chalk that people, is it edible chalk that is called? Yeah, that people eat. I don't eat it, but I like the smell, maybe because of the dusty, rusty smell. I like it, and whenever I want to smell it, people will be like, are you pregnant? Do you have pregnancy craving? Righteous Ree again says, okra should never be blended. I agree 100%. I don't like blended okra for anything. I prefer hand-cut okra, and at most, I can do grated okra. But you see blended okra, I don't like it. I don't like the look. Yeah, it destroys the okra for me. I believe if you want to blend okra, just prepare ogbono soup. Yeah, because blending okra, I can't see the crunch. Like, I want to eat the crunch. I want to be able to bite into the okra. That's what makes okra soup enjoyable for me. A. Adedoyin says, most times Nigerian vegetables are overcooked, therefore all the nutrients are gone. I agree 100%. But I believe that that is changing. With social media, people are picking up best practices. I said that to her on the post. People are picking up best practices, those who want to pick it up. Still, for instance, in Edika Ikong, some people feel, the owners of the recipe feel that I did not cook the water leaves long enough. No, I don't want my vegetables dead. I want them palatable in my mouth, but I don't want them dead. And I don't want them to change color. Once a vegetable changes from green to dark, or I've lost appetite. Yeah, I don't want to look at it. It looks like a stale soup. No. So I agree with you 100%. A lot of Nigerians overcook their vegetables in the name of this is how we prepare it. But no, if once you know any better, you will change some of your cooking practices handed down from generations. Yeah. Even in Iboland, where I come from, they used to add ogo and cook it, it will be dead. You just add these things, stir and put it down. The heat in the pot is enough to cook it. Talking about overcooking something, that takes me to my own unpopular opinion about Nigerian cooking, Nigerian food. Let me tell you, this adding of already boiled egg into raw beans, raw blended beans, that's moi moi, and then we cook it for 1 hour. That's like, then you have cooked the egg, okay, boiling of the egg, maybe 10 minutes, and then you put it inside beans, blended beans, and cook it for another 1 hour. That's 1 hour, 10 minutes that you've cooked egg. What is remaining in that egg? That egg is chaff. In fact, that egg is poison. In Ayamshe stew, they do that as well. They boil the egg and put it inside, fry it, and that one self, the albumin will absorb the oil. Like, what that practice, where is it from? What happened to leaving the egg, boil egg, leave it aside, and then serve it with the meal? That's how I serve moi moi. I know on my channel, one of my first moi moi recipes, because it's the way it's done, I cooked the moi moi like that, added boiled egg. By the time you're cutting it, you see that dark thing, that sulfur thing, to show you that the egg is cooked and cooked and cooked to stupor. These days, some people started adding raw egg to the moi moi instead of boiling it first. But still, come on, you're going to cook that moi moi for 1 hour. Who cooks egg for 1 hour? There's nothing left in the egg. And as far as I'm concerned, that boiled egg you're adding into the beans, it's not like it adds anything to the taste of the beans. So why add it into the moi moi? I find that practice very strange. Like, how can we continue to do that practice in this day and age, even if our ancestors did it? How can we, in this time when we know better, continue to do that? The egg does not add anything to the taste of the stew for those that add it to stew. The egg does not add anything to the taste of the moi moi for those that add it to moi moi. So why add it? Why add it at all? Even if you add it raw, it's still like 6 times overcooked. So I think we should stop that. I am Nora Jones said, putting onions in everything, face palm. And Jessie Healthy Food said the same thing. Adding onion to soup and adding crayfish to jollof rice. Okay, wait one side with that crayfish and jollof rice. Okay, putting onions to everything. Yeah, some people Every single thing they will say, she didn't even add onions. We're talking about bitter leaf soup here. We're talking about ora soup. What is onions doing in bitter leaf soup, Beacon? What is onions doing in ora soup? First of all, bitter leaf and onions are strange bedfellows. You will even taste it. It will be sweet and sour, like Chinese food. Some, this Chinese sweet and sour food. That's what it will be tasting like. So it's not good for the soup. And some people will be like, I add it to my meat to season the meat. When you add onions to the meat, you've added it to the soup. So no onions whatsoever for any reason in these meals. I mean, onions is great. I like onions when it's necessary. Adding crayfish to jollof rice. Hi. This one should be a punishable offense. Not just jollof rice. Stew. Tomato stew. If you're cooking concoction rice, if you're cooking banga rice, which is a local rice, you can add crayfish. If you're cooking ofaku, you can add crayfish. But you see tomato stew, jollof rice, fried rice, probably they will also add crayfish to fried rice. Nki London, our prof, says the association of drinking garri to being poor has denied a lot of people from enjoying a deliciously refreshing delicacy. For those who don't know, you can prepare garri like cereal. You know the garri, the dry garri. Put it in a bowl, add water, add full cream powdered milk, add sugar, add roasted peanuts, especially if it's Nigerian, well-browned roasted peanut. That's heaven on earth. But a lot of people diss it. In fact, when I was young, if my mom saw you chewing garri, like chewing garri, you've not even drank it, chewing garri, she will beat the bejesus out of you that day, because it's usually associated with hunger. The first question she will ask you is, have you not eaten today? Are you hungry? That you're chewing garri. But I love this. If you want to enjoy beans porridge, pair it with this garri asoke. If you want to enjoy moi moi, pair it with this yummy. Even on its own, on a very hot day, it can help you cool your body. And Tess Ife says they take forever to cook. Yeah, the same as Abisola Staveli. It takes too long to prepare, especially if you have to cook the meat first. Ife Lugo. For a busy person, strictly Nigerian food preparation takes a lot of time. Yeah. Palm's Outlook says they say it takes hours, and I wonder why. Yeah. Why? Because our meals, we prepare them from scratch with fresh ingredients. You hardly see us use any pre-prepared ingredient. Everything is cooked from scratch. A lot of our ingredients are very tough, like the meats, the cow skin, goat meat, cow foot. All of them are strong. It takes, like, some of them almost 2 hours to cook. Hard chicken and all that. It's Janet says too much oil. Kissed by Casey, it's oil. Vani Ozugu says it's unhealthy because of the ocean of oil we use in cooking. I agree to an extent, because this is what we see on social media. But let me tell you something. When I was growing up, I knew that after cooking soup and there's a layer of oil at the top of the soup, you'll be tagged a bad cook. Even on this channel, when I share, for instance, egusi soup, I keep saying it should look yellow. If it looks red, it means you added too much oil. The same thing with ora soup. After cooking ora soup and you see a pool of oil at the top, it means you added too much oil, and it's regarded as bad cooking where I come from. Some people even beat their children because of that. They're wasting oil or adding too much, or stuff like that. Or you don't know how to cook. You poured 1 bottle of oil, or you pour 1 gallon now. Something like that. They'll be like, you poured 1 jerrycan of oil. You even see on this channel when I prepare tomato stew, I add enough oil just to fry it well. But after that, I pour out all that oil as much as I can. Oil tugs at my heart. Like, when I look at, when I see those pictures of stew that has the pool of oil at the top, like my heart starts like beating like this, like it's coming out of my chest. I haven't even eaten it, so I can't stand oil. The first time I saw that kind of pool of oil in a meal was when I went to Lagos. And then, of course, now you see it all over the internet. But it's not everybody. I see how this can be true, because this is what you see on the internet. In fact, there's even the stew I uploaded on Facebook recently, tomato stew. Some people were there like laughing. They were joking about it. She poured out the oil, all the oil. It's the oil that makes it delicious now. I'm like, go on. Whatever rocks your boat. This cooling Douala using Maggi. Angry face, yeah. Aisha Manga says, in my opinion, we add too much seasoning to the extent that it destroys the original flavor of the meal. At the end of the day, you are left with overcooked, salty food. And that is not nutritious at all. The Giving Voice, we eat too much sodium in our cooking. In fact, too much of everything. Example, too much salt, maggi, oil, pepper, too much carb. At the end of the day, our food is not healthy because of our cooking ways. I come in peace because you know that you released a lot of bomb here. The thing is, this is prevalent. Yeah, I noticed that as well. Like from the comments I get from people, is it only 2 cubes of maggi that you add in that? She didn't even add maggi again. I'll add seasoning cubes when I'm boiling my meat, and then they expect me to add another one to the soup or stew. Why? The one in the meat, you will pour that water into the soup now or stew now. Some people treat this seasoning of meat as if they are pouring away the stock. When you pour in the stock into what you're cooking, everything you originally added in the stock will go into what you're cooking. So I don't understand it. The same thing with salt. In fact, on Facebook, they say that I told them not to add salt. I never said that. I always say add salt if necessary. We don't eat a lot of it. In fact, I made a very detailed post on Facebook recently. I will link it below for those that are interested about sodium. My mom will tell you salt and pepper, they do not have any nutritional value. Add them sparingly, because when I first started cooking, one of my very early challenges was knowing the amount of salt, the quantity of salt to add to what I was doing. And then I was often cooking salty food. And my mom would be like, go easy on the salt. She was the one that taught me that salt has no nutritional value. This was back in the day and she knew this. Not to talk of in this present time that you have information all over the place. Go and check it online. I even put it on that post that I made on Facebook. It's 0.0000000 in all the nutrients. It's only when you come to sodium you see a very high number. So we should do better. Yeah. Salt has no nutritional value. Like when I don't add salt to when I'm boiling my meat, some people were like, why don't you add salt? There's salt in the seasoning cubes I added, and I prefer to be tasting, like Aisha said, it destroys the original flavor. I prefer to taste the original flavor. Sometimes I'm watching some videos on this YouTube, the amount of seasonings that people add into this mix, this chicken mix, the one mix, this mix. When I'm boiling my meat, you see what I add? If it's for stew, thyme, onions, and seasoning cubes, finish. But you see a lot of people line up all these things. How can you even taste the meal? Like, I mean, to your taste, but I find it off-putting. And so I agree with these my people 100%. Figure ocho. Our food is actually high in carbs and fat. Yes, I agree 100%. ID Ekanem said the same thing, but the carb is true, though we eat a lot of veggies too. Yeah, we eat a lot of veggies too, but our meals are high in carbs. And it's not like we don't have meals that are not high in carbs. We have meals that are not high in carbs, but the issue is that Nigerians will always gravitate towards those high carb meals. I know from my channel, whenever I upload anything that is not fufu, rice, you people are not interested in that. When I post something that is supposed to be nutritious food, some people will be like, is this a meal? This is appetizer now. So in Nigeria, they don't regard it as a meal. That is why on every Nigerian cooking channel, it's mostly soup. A lot of people have 20 okra soup recipes on their channel, 20 egusi soup recipes. Still, whenever you upload it, people will still come and watch. People will still click and come and watch it. But when you upload low carb something, so people will even be making fun of it, asking you, is it everything that you will fufulize? But they don't know that sometimes for somebody like me, I prefer swallow foods to any other thing. Sometimes you let your body rest. And when you eat those fufulized veggies, you will see the difference. You will see the cleansing happening. We need to do better because we know better that our grandma and grandpa and our mothers or fathers did it. Does not make it right. Sometimes when you come online, the only argument people have is that my grandma does it this way, my mother does it this way. No, it shouldn't be so. As you know better, you can even educate them, the older generation. Age does not always mean more knowledgeable. No. Hits Mioma says, I wish there were more desserts and sweets. Hits Mioma. The thing is that in Nigeria, we're not big on desserts. We have snacks, so which you can use as desserts, but it doesn't always make sense. After eating a main meal, you come and sit down and be eating puff puff. Like someone was saying, Jalaviz was telling me if I can tell us or show us Nigerian desserts, if we have any. I have a playlist of videos that can make good desserts if you want. But the thing is that in Nigeria, sometimes we serve up appetizers, but we are more interested in the main meal. A main meal is so filling and so rich that there won't be space for any. You can imagine after swallowing fufu with bitter leaf soup, you come and be eating cake. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in any way. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, can you give it a thumbs up? I'm pretty sure you enjoyed it, so give it a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. I'll see you in the next one, which is when we will talk about meats. Cooking mates. Oh my god, some of them will drive you up the wall. You'll be like, how do people believe in these things? Bye bye, see you soon.